But I can't represent myself. I am myself. I'm a Moorish American national.
You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'm going to do what I want. So you're
This sovereign citizen finally found out what happens when you keep testing a judge's patience. After skipping court 3 separate times and treating the process like a joke, he strolls back and thinking the rules still don't apply to him. Spoiler, they do. The judge had already given him more grace than most would months ago, but that goodwill is officially gone. This time, there's no leniency, no tolerance, and definitely no time for disrespect. The Michigan judge wastes zero energy entertaining the nonsense, shuts down every excuse, and delivers a reality check that lands hard. What follows is a complete shutdown, firm, final, and incredibly satisfying to watch. No games, no theatrics, just consequences. So buckle up, because this courtroom moment is a masterclass in why you don't play sovereign citizen games in front of a judge who's done being patient.
213ST alleges driving suspended second offense on January 31st, 2021 here in St. Joseph County. File 202073 alleges driving suspended on September 17th here in St. Joseph County. I think there may be a speeding charge with that. File 202653 also charges driving suspended second offense and forgery and speeding. All of those matters were scheduled for jury trial today, November 10th. Mr. Morrow Bay wishes to represent himself on these matters. He has a perspective on the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code that disagrees with the state's version of it, but he didn't want an attorney and didn't wish to have representation. He wanted to represent himself in all of these matters. So we treated him like an attorney. We set the matter for a final pretrial to prepare for jury trial. And he didn't show up. So there are presently 3 arrest warrants for Mr. Morrow Bay's arrest for failing to appear for duly scheduled last pretrials about 3 weeks ago. We don't show up on the morning of trial with a basket full of papers and inconvenience 30 to 50 jurors who have to come in and hear your case and several witnesses without preparing for it. So we scheduled a pretrial conference and you didn't show up. So I've called off the jurors for today and the prosecutor has called off all the witnesses. And there are currently 3 separate warrants for your arrest for failing to appear. But you're here now.
I think I was unaware.
We sent that to the address that you gave us. And if you're representing yourself, you need to act like you're representing yourself. We sent you duly notice to your Sage Street address in Kalamazoo. The same notice you got for this.
I don't live there anymore, and I can't represent myself. I am myself.
All right, well, I'm not clairvoyant. I don't know that you moved. So, Mr. McNair, you're driving me crazy. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. You're walking all over the place and flashing the screen and giving me vertigo, and you're sideways and upside down. So I'll be with you in a bit. Don't go away. Yes, that's your position. Then you're not doing a very good job of it, because you didn't tell me where you lived. You didn't show up for a pretrial while we prepare for this. And now you come rolling in with a hat on the morning that your 30 or 40 jurors are supposed to be here. That's not a very good way to do business.
It's my religious headdress. I'm a Moorish American.
The judge is absolutely in the right on this one. And honestly, this is something that's always baffled me about sovereign citizens. Why do they consistently show up to court dressed like they just rolled out of bed? Hoodies, hats, zero effort. Like this isn't a courtroom where real consequences are on the line. You're standing there fighting serious charges, yet you can't even be bothered to look presentable or show the most basic level of respect. And let's be real, if this guy truly believed the judge had no jurisdiction, then why show up at all? Staying home clearly didn't work either, considering he already skipped court 3 times before this. At that point, it's not hard to see why the judge is done being patient. If you expect anyone to even pretend to listen to your arguments, the bare minimum would be acting like you care. Instead, they walk in ready to argue while looking completely checked out. Honestly, it feels like self-sabotage. If I were on the bench, I'd be thinking the same thing. You're not about to disrespect the court and expect leniency while dressed like that.
Your Honor, I would ask that he be held in contempt for failing to appear at the last pretrial. I would also ask that an order enter regarding discovery if all of these items that he's holding on to are intended to be used as exhibits at the trial. I would like to have copies of those so that we can be prepared. Also, I'd like to have our motion for joinder of the cases heard so we can settle that matter prior to choosing the jury and having another date set.
Right in the middle of my busy arraignment morning when I have 14 people waiting to be arraigned, that probably won't work out too good. But it's all on him. He didn't show up. He also got notice of your motion. Mr. Morrow Bay, do you have documents that you were going to present as part of your defense?
I mean, I mailed in documents and I never got a response.
Well, do you have some you wish to present?
Well, I mailed in an affidavit to you more than once, and this is also my legal notice for my lawful name change, because I put it on the record that I'm a Moorish American national and I'm not American or a U.S. citizen, excuse me. I'm a man of the land. I'm native to the land. So a lot of these rules that the state of Michigan is.
Unfortunately, moments like this are becoming all too common. But if you enjoyed breaking down situations like these, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps support the content and keeps these videos coming. Now, let's jump back into the footage and see how this plays out.
And I have lots of documentation to prove it.
All right. I want you to take Mr. Perdue into custody.
Okay.
We're going to execute the 3 bench warrants that are currently out for his arrest for contempt. We'll take him to jail and we'll make an arrangement later to discuss.
Are you arresting me right now? Wow.
I have time to do it now. Thank you. Bye. Mr. Perdue, you're going to jail, the St. Joe County Jail here in St. Joe County, and I'm going to hold on to you in lieu of 3 $1,000 bonds until we can review your contempt and the other things we need to deal with. But if you're going to represent yourself, you need to do it right. You need to show up when you're supposed to show up. You need to follow the rules of evidence and procedure. You don't just come in and say, I'm my own country, I'm going to do what I want. So you're going to jail.
I was unaware.
The bond is $1,000 per file, and I will talk with you later. So right now you're going to the St. Joe County Jail. All right, we'll deal with him, Deborah, when we have more time. But he's clearly in contempt. And he is his own person, so he isn't representing himself, he is himself.
I'm not going to lie, that was incredibly satisfying to watch. This hearing felt different from a lot of the ones I usually cover, and that's mainly because of how flawlessly the judge ran the courtroom. Judge Middleton left almost no room for nonsense. He allowed the sovereign citizen to speak just enough to hang himself with his own words, which honestly only strengthens the record when sentencing comes around. That's how a hearing should be handled. What really stood out was how calm and deliberate the judge stayed the entire time. No back and forth, no emotional reactions, just control. And when it was time to act, he didn't hesitate. Watching him pick up the phone and direct the sheriff's office to take this guy into custody on the spot was a perfect example of authority being exercised the right way. Especially considering this defendant had already missed court 3 times and had multiple warrants out, the audacity was unreal. Even after all that, the guy still thought he could walk in and push the same tired living man arguments, claiming he doesn't identify as an American, yet insisting on staying here because it's the best country in the world, all while believing the laws don't apply to him. It's so absurd, it's almost hard to process. And honestly, it's wild to see this kind of thinking in 2025. Years ago, I thought we'd be more advanced, more rational. Somehow, it feels like we've gone the opposite direction. A lot of that probably comes from the internet and nonstop media influence. Everyone has an opinion, but not everyone lives in reality. Watching that collision between fantasy and the real world is what makes these cases so fascinating. The meltdown, the disbelief, the moment it all falls apart, that's what keeps me watching. Overall, I thought Judge Middleton was absolutely spot on here. Calm, professional, and completely in control. This sovereign citizen never really had a chance once the facts caught up to him. But I want to hear from you. Do you think the judge went too hard, or did he give this guy exactly what he earned? Drop your thoughts in the comments.